Hey guys, my name's Eric and I want to welcome you to the first episode of 7th Circle Hobbies. The first thing I want to do is start with a question. What do you get when you add some tacky glue, corkboard, and my 7-year-old daughter's bedazzling fantasies? If you said demonic bases, well then of course, this is the 7th Circle. Stick around and I'm going to show you a cheap, easy way to make some really cool basing effects for your figures. Again, this is going to be pretty quick and fast and easy to do. First thing you want to do is take your Eileen's tacky glue. Just give this base a real good coat. Then take some of your chipboard. I'm just going to break off a piece. It looks about right for the size of my figure I'm using. Something like that. Okay, and then we want to place that down on the base. And then I've pre-selected a couple different sizes of beads. I'm just going to pop a few different size ones in there as I go. Not really giving too much thought to planning it out. Again, you really can't mess this up. It's up to your imagination. You just want to have some fun with it. The general principles though is if I use a big bubble or two, I want to surround it with some bubbles of smaller size. Give it that frothing action, like something's about to emerge from the denizens below. Again, you really can't go too wrong with it at this stage. You just want to have fun. No one's ever been to a different dimension and come back from it at least to tell the tale. So have fun with it. Let your imagination run wild. Okay. Should kind of get things looking the way you want to. Next step is to simply go back over your model with another layer of Eileen's tacky glue. Okay. Then I take these little check beads here. Sprinkle in some into your hand. And again, I'm just gonna take it like a pinch of salt. Just let them pop wherever they might fall. Okay. And again, this is something you'll get a hang for. Just do it to taste, depending on how active you want your bases to be. Okay, you want a slow boil, you want frothing souls. I'm just gonna push them back down into the glue. And don't worry if they're completely submerged in glue at this point. The tacky glue is going to dry back up, and as it dries, it'll dry clear, and it shrinks. So you won't have to worry about your base is not looking right. I would just take any excess glue that's going over the edge of your base, just kind of use your finger to wipe it back. Okay, and at this point, you just mix and match and repeat as much as you like And once you're done, okay, via magic of the internet, voila, you're going to end up looking like something like that. And you can see, I'll close in on here on you for you. You can see that the tacky glue has dried clear. It's shrunk down quite a bit. Here's another example. Okay. And these things will look great. You can do Nurgle bases, you can make lava bases, you can do blood boiling, and we could put some bones on top of here to really make it look like a realm of corn or whatever your fantasy flavor is. It's really not that hard, and it's cheap and easy. Here are a couple examples I've done on 32 millimeter bases, just to give you an idea. You got some rank and file blood letters or daemonettes or whatever it might be. You can easily reproduce this effect on whatever size base you are, following these basic principles. Okay, so now let's paint a couple of these up and show you the different things you can do. Okay, so here's the completed squad. We zoom in and see the various effects. Some I went a little crazy with the glue, some I hardly did any. You can kind of see the different thickness and consistencies you use depending on what you use. So, next step, let's go ahead and get these suckers painted, and I'll show you that. Okay, so I have modeled up some bases, some test bases, and I've got a couple different methods I want to show you I've been wanting to play with. So let's take a look at them and then tell me what you like best. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to block out this base with black so that it'll separate what is the land mass from the roiling sea underneath. So it's just a simple black base coat, easy peasy. Okay, once the black is dry, I take a dry brush and a little bit of Vallejo neutral gray. Wipe most of the brush off. Start giving it just too much. Light dry brush. Okay, once they're all done with that first dark gray coat, you'll go up to Vallejo Sky Gray. You want to make sure you get the edges good. Really catch some of that detail. So here's a base just with the dark gray, or neutral gray rather, and then with a high brush of the sky gray. It's a subtle difference, but I think it really makes the rock pop out of the base. So it's worth the effort to take it up just a little bit more, and it'll really make your figure stand out. I'm not too sure here. It's going to be interesting to see how this dries, but you might want to undercoat this from the white first with like a good dark red. Okay, after some drying time, this is the Green Stuff World True Blood. Now I gave this 2 coats. You can still see it's still kind of streaky in parts and it didn't come out quite as well as I had hoped. Now there are a couple of things I could have done differently. I could have put down like a darker red color underneath, and then the blood to see what would happen. So I might give that a try next time. Here is the Tamiya X27, translucent clear red rather, and that came out pretty nice, but it still wasn't really what I was looking for. So I played around a little bit on my wet palette and mixed in some black paint, and I came up with this, and I really like that kind of look. I mean, that is just really cool. I think I'm gonna go with this for my squad, but on a whim, I had a bottle of Blood Angels Red contrast paint, so on the other practice base, I just did one coat on this, and this is how it came out. Right out of the pot, no mixing, nothing, and I think it looks pretty darn good, especially for if you're trying to knock things out pretty quickly. I have to say, I'm kind of impressed with this one, so I might be looking into this in the future. Well, that wraps it up for the Demonic Bases Blood tutorial. I hope you liked it. Overall, I have to say, I thought the Green Stuff True Blood was really cool, but probably not for a whole entire base. Maybe right on the weapons like it's meant to be used, or from a wound. The Tamiya X27 was a really cool effect. I do think you probably need to mix it with a little black paint to get that really blood color. And the Citadel, the contrast paint, I know there was a lot of controversy with them, and man, if you're looking to knock out some figures quick and get them to a pretty decent standard, yeah, I certainly understand the arguments about, it's not going to teach you how to paint, and I agree. But for those of us who put in some years practice, they're not bad. And everyone got to start somewhere. There's always room for one more soul in the seventh circle. See you next week.